So students, in our last class under chapter reproduction in organisms, we have learned lifespan of the organisms. Why did we learn lifespan of the organism before discussing what is reproduction? Because throughout the lifespan organism cannot reproduce. Only during reproductive phase they can reproduce. So we were discussing lifespan, we finished it, but we have to discuss lifespan of different organisms. Then we will go to types of reproduction. So under lifespan of the organisms, let us see lifespan in different organisms. In textbook what they did is, they have given lifespan of only some organisms. They have mentioned lifespan, but other organisms they just wrote the name of the organism, but they did not mention the lifespan. But they have given fill in the blanks. You have to fill. So I will tell you that also, where you can fill that. Okay, so regarding lifespan of the organism, just to show that all the organisms doesn't have same lifespan, they are different in lifespan. Like for example, already we have taken example of parrot, which is a bird which is having 140 years lifespan. But crow is a similar size bird, but it is having only 15 years of lifespan. Then elephant, in the textbook they did not mention, but it is considered as 50 to 80 years is a lifespan. Minimum 50, maximum 80 years. Then if you consider rose plant, the lifespan is 5 to 7 years. Lifespan ಅಂದರೆ ಜೀವಿತ ಅವಧಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, how many, that is period from birth to natural death of the organisms. Okay, then if you consider rice plant lifespan is just 4 months. Okay, then lifespan of butterfly is just 1 to 2 weeks only. Lifespan of butterfly is just 1 to 2 weeks only. Okay, then lifespan of tortoise is 100 to 150 years. Then lifespan of banyan tree, andre alada mara, it is 500 years. 500 years. Okay, then if you consider lifespan of other organisms like dog, 10 to 13 years. Then dogs lifespan is considered 10 to 13 years. Then for banana tree, it is considered as 25 years. What is given in the Google, you can just check for banana. They have mentioned 25 years because in the textbook they asked you to fill, only space is given there. Then cow also space is given, it is 18 to 22 years. (18 to 22 years cattle or cow can survive. Then horse 25 to 30 years. Horse 25 to 30 years it can survive. Then fruit fly its scientific name is Drosophila melanogaster. Drosophila is a fruit fly. Like banana, any fruit is kept open, then small black color, sometimes white color flies we see, that small flies, very small, that is Drosophila. It is called fruit fly. Its lifespan is just 50 days. 50 days. Okay, so it indicates that lifespan of different organisms are different. Okay, like crocodile is 60 years. Is a lifespan of crocodile. You see, when you look at this lifespan, you will come to know that lifespan of different organisms are different. So lifespan of all the organisms are not same, it is different. Like you can see least also there, fruit fly is just 50 days it can survive, where you can see banyan tree which can survive for 500 years. Okay, fruit fly just 50 days. You see butterfly here, that is just 1 to 2 weeks, not even a month, just 10 to 15 days. That is 7 to 15 days you can consider. 1 week is 7 days to 14 days, 7 to 14 days, 1 to 2 weeks only. Then rice plant you consider, it is just 4 months. Okay, so then tortoise you consider, it is 100 to 150 years. Human beings lifespan is considered 100 years. So why did we discuss about lifespan in last class? Because throughout the lifespan organism will not have ability to reproduce. So in the reproductive period, when they can reproduce, when they have ability to reproduce, the organisms reproduce to continue the generation. Okay, so we have already learned in last class about definition of reproduction, that is biological process. Reproduction is defined as it's a biological process where organisms produce offsprings or progeny of same kind, or you can say similar to itself. Like humans produce humans only, dogs produce dogs only, like that. So reproduction mainly two types of reproduction based on whether single parent is involved or two parents of opposite sex are involved. So if single parent is involved, either male or female, anyone, both are not required, single parent, so it is either male or female, not both, anyone, single parent is enough, then it is considered as asexual reproduction. Asexual, without sex. Asexual reproduction means without sex, means without mating. So this is considered first type of reproduction. Okay, so then second type is when two parents are involved, two parents of opposite sex. Opposite sex means both male and female. Both male and female are required. So male produces male gametes, female produces female gametes. Then fusion of male and female gametes we call fertilization. So fertilization happens, or mating results in fertilization, then fertilization results in offsprings. So here mating is involved, two parents of opposite sex, male and female, are involved to produce offspring. So this is the second type. This is called sexual reproduction. Why it is called sexual? Because in between male and female, sex or mating happens, so results in the offspring. So it is called sexual reproduction. Here mating doesn't happen because single parent is involved. So reproduction is only two types of reproduction, sexual and asexual type of reproduction. But you should know that the word asexual is used for, mostly the word asexual is used for animals, but for plants same asexual word is replaced by word called vegetative for plants. That means vegetative reproduction, you cannot use that word reproduction, then it is called vegetative propagation and asexual reproduction. Both are same. So asexual and vegetative method both are same. In high school classes in 10th standard you have learnt 3 types of reproduction: asexual, vegetative and sexual. But that is actually wrong, because you can refer your textbook in in second year, first chapter, where asexual word is used for animals. The same meaning vegetative is used for plants. Why vegetative word is used for plants is not given in the textbook, but I will tell you. Because asexual method is used for animals, because animals, either male or female, but they will have reproductive organs. They can have reproductive organs or they may not have reproductive organs, but other than the reproductive organs means except reproductive organs, different part of the organism produces offspring here. But other than reproductive organ, different parts are not called vegetative parts. Like if you consider any animal body parts, we don't call it as vegetables. Vegetative part or vegetable, what we call, that is only for plant parts. Even in plants also, reproductive organs you cannot consider for vegetative propagation, because reproductive parts in plant is flower. Flower is a reproductive part. Andre hoo enidalla flower, that is considered reproductive part, sexually reproductive part of plant, because you already know this, first year you have learnt. Flower is a part of the plant which produces male and female reproductive organs, which is involved in sexual reproduction. Except flower, leaf flower, what are the other parts remaining? There are roots, stem, leaves. If they involve in reproduction, then it is called vegetative method. If flower is involved, flower is a sexually reproductive part, then it is called sexual reproduction. If flower of the plant is involved in reproduction, it is sexual reproduction. Except flower, other than flower, remaining parts of the plant like root reproduces or stem reproduces or leaves reproduce, then it is called vegetative propagation, not reproduction. Proper word used is propagation. The word propagation means multiplying. By using one part of the plant, you can produce many plants. Okay, so that is called vegetative propagation. Why? Because except flower, remaining parts of the plant, that is root, stem and leaves, are called vegetative parts of the plant. If vegetative parts of the plant produces next plant, then it is called vegetative parts. Okay, so vegetative parts are what then? Which all parts are vegetative parts? Root, stem, leaves. Flower you cannot consider, because flower is a sexually reproductive part. So except flower, remaining parts like root, stem, leaves, if they produce new plant, then it is called vegetative parts and vegetative propagation. So whichever part of the plant is used for producing new plant, that part will be called vegetative propagule. You know this, in 10th standard you have learnt. Like new plant is produced by root, then root is a vegetative propagule. Okay, new plant is produced by stem, stem is a vegetative propagule. If leaves are used for producing new plant, then it is leaf is called vegetative propagule. So whichever part of the plant is used for producing new plant, that is called vegetative propagule. Remember, you know this, you have learnt in 10th standard. You can just recall. If stem produces new plant, then stem is a vegetative propagule. Vegetative propagule means whichever part of the plant produces new plant except flower, that part is called vegetative propagule. So asexual reproduction and vegetative propagation both are same, but asexual word is used for animals, vegetative word is used for plants, but both are same. So mainly only 2 types of reproduction, that is asexual and sexual. Okay, main difference what you see there between asexual and sexual is Asexual reproduction involves single parent, one parent only, either male or female. But sexual reproduction involves two parents of opposite sex. Like both male and female are required, then only it can reproduce. Then asexual reproduction doesn't involve mating or sexual act, or you can also call coitus. You already know these words. Coitus, copulation, all these words are same meaning. So if mating doesn't happen because single parent, how single parent can mate with itself? It is not possible. So no mating, here mating is there. Then some other differences we will see now, very important. Okay, one by one we will discuss. Okay, first type if we see, that is asexual reproduction. This is the first type of reproduction, because reproduction is classified into two types, asexual and sexual. First one we are learning asexual method, then we will learn sexual method, because there are two types of reproduction. So asexual reproduction, name only says A means without sex, means without mating, because here single parent is involved. So single parent means that is either male or female, not both are involved here. Single parent. So as single parent is involved, offspring produced will look exactly same like parent. Okay, like for example, if one cell is there with a nucleus, if one cell divides into two cells, okay, so in that case both the cells will look same like the parent. You cannot differentiate which is a parent and which is a daughter cell, which are the offsprings, you cannot say. So this is a parent which divided and produced two cells. Now these are daughter cells, nothing but offsprings now, next generation. So these offsprings will look exactly same like the parent. Okay, not only to look, genes present in them is also same only like parent. So the offspring produced by asexual reproduction are called clones. Offspring produced by asexual reproduction are called clones. What is meaning of clone? Clone is defined as morphologically and genetically similar. Morphologically and genetically similar offspring is what we call clone. The actual meaning of the word clone means copy. Now we say first clone, second clone. The word clone meaning is copy. So parent produces its own copies, like a photocopy. Like when you put one paper in the Xerox machine, it will give you photocopies. The photocopies will be exactly like original copy. So like that. So like Xerox copies, what you say, photocopies. Xerox is a machine. So offspring produced looks exactly same like the parent, not only morphologically. Morphology means external appearance, how it looks like. Even genes present in the daughter cells also will be exactly same like parent. Then suppose this will divide into 4, this into 2, this into 2, 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16. All 16 will look exactly same like parent. You cannot differentiate which is the parent and which are the offspring produced. They look exactly same. Reason is there. Why they look exactly same like the parent? Because single parent is involved, and when single parent is involved, when they produce offsprings, 100% their genes will be as it is transferred to their offsprings. 100%. Like for example, if you consider, suppose I have a special power, God has given special power, you think like that. I'm just giving an example. Suppose God gives special power that alone I can produce offspring. Okay, alone, without female, if I can produce offspring, son for example, I produce son without female partner, then in that case 100% only my genes will be transferred to my son. No, he will not get mother's genes, only father's 100% genes. But that is not there in human beings. We have sexual reproduction where 50% genes from my side and 50% genes from my wife's side. So even you got, we all got 50% genes from father, 50% from mother, because we are produced as a result of sexual reproduction. But here this is asexual reproduction, where sex doesn't happen, no mating, so offsprings will look exactly same like the parent. So offsprings will be morphologically and genetically similar to the parents. That's why they are called clones. Okay, so no variation here. Variation means change. Offsprings will not have any change from the parent. They look exactly same. But you know that change is required. Offspring should not look exactly same like parent, because evolution should happen. Evolution means, you know, one organism over millions of years slowly forms other organism. You think if evolution would have not happened, then how do you think different kinds of organism would exist today? We have plants, bacteria, we have different types of bacteria, we have different types of plants, different types of animals. How do you think all these different types were formed? Because first living organism formed on earth was Archaebacteria, you know. So Archaebacteria is our ancestor. All the human beings, all the animals have common ancestor, that is Archaebacteria, you know. So if Archaebacteria slowly doesn't change to other form of organism, then how do you think at present different kinds of organisms you see? Even in human beings only, you consider. Okay, so where I will not look exactly same like my parents, but I have some similarities with the parents. Similarities. Like we say, nose is exactly like his father, eyes are exactly like his father, hairstyle is exactly like a father, skin color is exactly like a father, or height is exactly like a father. Father is 6.5 height. Okay, 6 feet 5 inches. Son is also 6 feet 5 inches or 4 inches. Then we say he's similar, but face exactly doesn't look same. Some similarities will be there, but not exactly like parent, because we are produced by mixture of genes. Because father contributes half of the chromosome through his sperm, mother contributes half of the chromosomes through her egg. So we are produced as a result of union of mixing of sperm and egg of father and mother. So we have 50% genes from father, 50% genes from mother. So we lead to variation. Variation means change. We are different from our parents. We are completely unique compared to all the other organisms in the world. You know, every human being is unique. Every animal is unique, because what genes I have, no one else in this world will have same type of genes, including my parents. My parents also will not have same genes. So every individual is unique. When DNA fingerprinting is done, you will understand the DNA fingerprinting is done to identify who are the real parents, whether he is a real son or not. Then to identify culprits, during crime, any crime happens or murder happens, at that time who is a real murderer, who is a real culprit, they will come to know by DNA test, you know. So DNA of any organism doesn't match with other organisms. Every individual, like I am unique, you are also unique. Every organism is unique, because what genes we have, no other organisms in this world will have same genes. So what I was saying, we lead to variation, change. We are not exactly same like parents. We are different from the parents. but we have some similarities with the parents. So this variation is required, which is very much important for evolution, and evolution should happen, otherwise different kinds of organisms will not be formed. And you should know that we are also not permanent. Scientists have already designed our future generation. Our future generation will not be called Homo sapiens. Now our scientific name of human beings is Homo sapiens sapiens. No, Homo sapiens is a species name, sapiens is a species name. One more sapiens is added, that is subspecies. Homo sapiens sapiens. But our future, okay, our next generation will be 8 feet tall. On my own I am not saying, you can search in Google if you want. Our future generation, their scientific name will be Homo futuris. They will be 8 feet tall, okay, thin body, average height is only 8 feet tall. So compared to our next generation, we will be very short. No, so, and they will be far intelligent compared to present generation. They will be more intelligent. Okay, so that is what is decided, because at what speed mutation is happening, gene is changing in our body, based on that they decide next generation. Okay, so that's why evolution is required. So what all characters we learned just now is asexual reproduction involves single parent, sexual reproduction involves two parents. In asexual reproduction, mating happens in the mating or sex happens in asexual reproduction, mating doesn't happen because single parent is there. In sexual reproduction, mating happens because both male and female are there. Then in case of asexual reproduction, offsprings produced will look exactly same like the parent, so they are called clones. But in case of sexual reproduction, offsprings formed will be different from the parent. Then here no variation, no change, because all the offspring looks exactly same like a parent. Reason is 100% genes of one parent is transferred to offsprings. No mixture, because only one parent divides, then whatever is their genes, that only should be shared. But when during sexual reproduction, genes come from two different parents, it mixes to produce one offspring. So that is why mixture of character leads to different character, that is called variation. Variation is not there in asexual reproduction, but it is there in sexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction doesn't help for evolution, but sexual reproduction helps for evolution. Okay, then asexual reproduction is faster, very fast, like binary fission and all. Bacteria to divide it will take just 18 minutes. We consider totally 20 minutes. In just 20 minutes, one bacteria divides into two. But in case of human beings and other animals, if you consider human beings, to produce offsprings, it takes 9 months, pregnancy. Then in case of elephants, it takes 24 months, 2 years almost. So it is a slow process. That is, sexual reproduction is slow, asexual reproduction is fast. Okay, so these are the major differences between asexual and sexual reproduction. Then very important, one more difference. Asexual reproduction doesn't produce gametes, but it may produce gametes. But in sexual reproduction, gamete formation happens. Gamete means sex cell, like male produces sperm, female produces egg. But in asexual reproduction, gamete formation is very rare, but it can happen, it may happen. Exceptional cases are there. Okay, so I hope you understood what I am saying. Then so now we have to learn different types of asexual reproduction in different types of organisms. Different types of asexual reproduction is there in different organisms that we have to learn one by one. Okay, so first type of asexual reproduction in case of simple organisms. That also I should say, asexual, one more difference is there between asexual and sexual. That is, asexual reproduction occurs in simple organisms. Simple organisms means like unicellular organisms, single celled organisms, simple organisms. But sexual reproduction occurs in complex organisms or higher organisms. So asexual reproduction, if we see, okay, it is most common in single celled organisms. Common among single celled organisms. But animals having many cells, multicellular or multicellular, usually higher organisms will have sexual reproduction. So common method of reproduction when single celled organism is there, ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಜೀವಕೋಶ ಇರುವಂಥ ಜೀವಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಇರುವಂಥ ಜೀವಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ common method is asexual reproduction. Okay, like in protists and monerans. Protists means organisms which belongs to kingdom Protista, and monerans means members of kingdom Monera. Monera includes bacteria and mycoplasma. Protists include 5 classes. You already know first year: chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime molds and protozoans. So in simple organisms like monerans and protists, that is in bacteria and protista, okay, mostly single celled organisms where just reproduction happens by cell division, that is one cell divides into 2 cells. One cell divides into 2 cells. That is a simple method of reproduction. Like most of the single celled organisms like amoeba, then paramecium. Amoeba and paramecium will have first method of asexual reproduction, that is called binary fission. Okay, there are 2 types of fission, binary and multiple fission. Binary fission is seen in amoeba and paramecium. Binary fission is the first type of asexual reproduction seen in simple organisms like single celled amoeba and paramecium. So binary, bi means 2, fission means division, dividing. So where amoeba is a case where this is amoeba and this is a nucleus. Amoeba divides by binary fission. Like first it will have structure like this, where nucleus, what was there in the center, will divide first. So nucleus will get elongated first, it will get elongated, then next the same cell will have 2 nuclei separated. You see, 2 nuclei will get separated, these are called daughter nuclei. Then later entire cell divides into 2. So this becomes 1 and this becomes 1. First nucleus divides into 2 daughter nuclei, then entire cell divides into 2 cells called daughter cells. Then if you ask me why it is called daughter cells, why it is not called son cells, like some students will be there, they'll ask. Answer is not there in the textbook. In case if you get doubt, answer is very simple. Why they are called daughter cells? Because in case of human beings, daughters meaning girls or female is having ability to give birth. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತ್ ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇರೋದು ಫೀಮೇಲಿಗೆ. ನೋ ಮೇಲ್ cannot be pregnant. Some rare cases are there, that is forcefully artificially done, but naturally male cannot be pregnant. Okay, so male cannot give birth. Male will be just responsible for birth because he will contribute his sperms, but he'll contribute his sperm, but he cannot be pregnant and he cannot give birth. So daughters will have ability to give birth. Daughter means female will have ability to give birth. So sons will not have ability to give birth because these daughter cells still they have ability to reproduce, and these daughter cells again divide into 2 daughter cells. This will again divide into 2 daughter cells. Again they also have ability to produce 2 like this. This will produce 2, this will produce 2. So continuously they will have ability to reproduce. Okay, in daughters, in human beings, female or daughters have ability, sons will not have ability to reproduce, because male cannot be pregnant and reproduce. So male cannot give birth, but he can reproduce. Reproduce means he can be responsible for giving birth, because sexual reproduction means both male and female are required, but male will be just responsible for birth, responsible for giving birth, but actual process of giving birth will be by female. So that's why they are called daughter cells, not son cells. So this is one method, first method of asexual reproduction. Okay, so next method of asexual reproduction we will learn in next class. Okay, so keep watching my classes. Thank you.